that? Yeah. Okay, so I'm Juliana, and I'm a very lazy student, and I'll openly admit that. I'm the type of person who does their sophomore paper on the bus the day before it's due and gets a 98 on it. I'm the type of student who will sleep right before a big test and YOLO it and do pretty well. School has never really made an impression on me. So I came into doing senior sem like, cool, I get to graduate. Great. I didn't really care about what I was doing, and I didn't really have any interest in doing senior sem. I'm going to be pretty honest. So I came in and I made a project that was going to be pretty easy. I was like, this isn't going to take up my summer. It might make me leave for the beach a little late. It might make me stay up until 11:59, but it's not going to do anything big. It's going to be my graduation requirement. I'm going to get an A, and I'm going to be done. So for my project, I did the effect of hobbies on depression in kids. And so for my event project, I had to do 15 hours of community service, and I went to the Bow Youth Center, which was great. I love little kids. They were all super nice. We played kickball. I read them nap time stories. It was legit. It was light. It was fun. I did the paperwork. I did the research. 11 o'clock, cranked that stuff out. Like, no problem. And then I had to throw the actual event. So in conjunction with the Bow Rec Center, I threw this event, and I had businesses come in and talk about like what they do, what programs they have, and stuff like that. So I called like 80 businesses to be like, hey, want to come? And got rejected, ate some ice cream, called again. And that happened a lot, and I realized that I had created a project where I was going to have to push myself a lot more than I thought. The biggest aspect of my project was all the failure, every single piece of it. My event, I called 80 people, I got rejected by 30, I got confirmed by 50, and I let 20 of them come. So day of event, it's middle of July, it's a warm summer day, and I have Tri-Town Ice Arena in a classroom talking to 50 kids who are expecting 20 businesses to tell them about hobbies they could do during the school year. 19 businesses no-showed on me, and it made me really annoyed because I had put together this whole thing. I had spent my summer, I'd spent part of my summer doing this thing that I thought was going to be big and grand because I'd actually put effort in when I normally do my homework on the bus. It felt like I'd been cheated because I'd actually tried my hardest and it didn't turn out to anything. I'd pushed my comfortable limits and they pushed back. So I was mad. I hypothetically sent some mean emails to Tokyo Joe's. I didn't actually send it, but I want to. I'm still pretty bitter about it because in their minds, they could have failed me. They knew that this was my senior project, that this was something that I was doing for school, that they had promised to show up at, that I had told other places they couldn't come because they were going to come, that Tokyo Joe's was going to do some sick karate and show these kids some great times. But they didn't, and it made me really mad. And then I got pretty sad because it was like I tried my best, and no matter what I had done, it wasn't going to turn out my way. That I'd spent maybe 3 hours planning this thing, and it didn't turn out right. Like, that's 3 hours of my life I'm never going to get back. And I had to sit there at Bow Rec realizing that I not only failed in the sense that my event was awful, but I failed in the sense that I didn't get to show these kids hobbies and help them later in life. And it sucked. But then I remembered that Brianna, the nice Tri-Town Ice Arena lady, the one person who fulfilled her promise and showed up, gave me some free skating lessons. Now those things were great. I learned how to ice skate backwards. Can you guys ice skate backwards? No, because it's hard. And so not use these. They're free. I love free things. I'm cheap. And so I went and I learned how to ice skate. It made me feel better about my project because no matter how bad it was, and even though I didn't help all these kids that were probably hoping to learn where they could ride horses, I helped myself. I found myself a hobby that isn't eating Cheetos and sleeping. My favorite two things on the planet. I learned how to ice skate, and it made me relatively happy. So even though I failed, and I failed at creating an easy project for myself, I failed at holding a good event, I failed at turning my paperwork in on time, everything I did was a failure in this senior sem, I kind of won, because I've never really failed before, and now I know that I hate it, and I don't want to do it again. So, now some thank yous. Thank you, Mrs. Aubin, for being the real MVP. Thank you for being super supportive, even though I'm kind of a mess 24/7. Thank you to Brianna from Tri-Town Ice Arena. She's not here, but she's here in spirit. Thank you for being the only person who showed up. Thank you for bringing balloons that she then let me take home. Thank you for giving me lollipops, and just for showing up, man. And thank you to Mrs. Barth. You're not only a mentor in senior sem, you're a mentor in life, and I love you. Questions? No?
Juliana, what advice would you give to incoming seniors who are taking it now and will take it next semester?
My best advice to you is don't pick a senior project that you think is going to be easy, because it's not going to be easy. No matter what you do, you're going to find problems in what you're trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish. And it's probably going to be harder if you think, oh, it's going to be a walk in the park, and then there's a thunderstorm and a tornado in the park.
Any other questions?